wanted to blame
your mother.
She absolutely wanted to blame my parents for everything.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you see your family having these tendencies as well?
My mother was very overprotective, but I don't think that's... I'm not one to blame parents for things.
Really? You got to.
I don't.
How else do you learn?
I don't, because I think that...
Why else would he rock himself to sleep if not for his mom rocking?
I blame your parents, actually. I actually blame your parents for my problems, interestingly enough.
Oh, don't let me get Liz on the phone. She'll give you a nice stern talking to.
But yeah.
Oh my God! If we can't get a therapist, maybe we have a weekly session of your mom talking to Keith, trying to straighten out his life.
I'm more comfortable with Vito's mom, but I guess yours will too.
You don't know my mom, so it'd be.
It's not.
Yeah, you need an objective, diagnosis.
Yeah, totally.
Somehow I just feel Vito's mom would tell me, "You're fine, honey. Don't worry about it."
Just eat some chicken. Be vegetarian. Eat some chicken. Stop eating beef.
I don't know. Hey, Vanessa, buddy, where are you today?
Yeah, I was going to say, so Dr. Vanessa, what's going on with you today?
Well, here at Best in Show, we've often engaged in the thrill of competition, seeking out the bragging rights and glory of declaring yourself the best at something, be it football picks, donut eating, or obscure theme song knowledge. Pride and stomachs have been damaged in the quest for victory, but it hasn't prevented us from entertaining other challenge concepts. But perhaps we've been way too proactive in our challenges. Maybe we should look into capitalizing on our true natural abilities, not being the best at doing something, but to be the best at doing nothing. I'm at the ESPN Zone in Times Square, New York, where a Midtown Manhattan librarian was crowned the ultimate couch potato in ESPN's first annual Ultimate Couch Potato Competition. Stan Friedman defeated 3 rivals in the battle, which began at 11 a.m. on New Year's Day and wrapped up at 4 p.m. the following day. The 4 participants, sitting in recliners in front of a dozen 42-inch high-definition plasma televisions and a couple of 14-foot HD projection TVs, competed against each other to see who could watch the most continuous hours of televised sports without falling asleep. They could order unlimited food and drinks, but they weren't allowed to go to sleep or leave their recliners except for restroom breaks once every 8 hours. Friedman, a research librarian whose favorite sport is baseball, was declared the victor after 29 hours of grueling continuous sports viewing, mostly college football games and endless highlight reels, when runner-up Nate Lopez ran to the bathroom before the allotted break time. For his stamina and his bladder control, Friedman takes home a grand prize package worth nearly $5,000, including a 42-inch LCD television, a Dream Seat recliner, a year's subscription to ESPN Magazine, and a year's supply of ESPN Zone game cards. Watching TV, eating, and drinking as much as you want, has any one of us not done that for 29 hours straight? I think this is a competition Best in Show could really place in. In fact, I'm going to start training right now by spending the next 27 hours straight watching the first 3 seasons of 90210, and I really don't see myself having a problem. Best in Show's first annual Couch Potato Champion, I'm Vanessa Chewood.
The big, tremendous issue here is, did these guys not hear No We for a We? How do you have a don't go to the bathroom thing as a competition after the No We for a We
It's
contest?
once every 8 hours.
But they weren't forced to drink. They could drink whatever they wanted. They didn't have to drink.
They couldn't pee themselves?
I imagine they could have peed themselves.
Right? Why can't you just
I
pee
didn't see
yourself?
anything in that in the rules, but they just said, all right, I'm letting it go.
I'm just going to soil myself?
The prestige and glory for $5,000, just pissing yourself constantly.
And then every 8
there
hours...
was also a trophy.
Could you pick the... Did they mention whether you can pick the programming that you watched?
Yeah.
You could not pick the programming. It was just...
See, that's the problem, because I could easily sit through 28, 29 hours of stuff with even with the bathroom breaks once every 8 hours. I could push it and make that happen, but I don't think I could sit through 20 minutes of football.
I was going to say where you could easily fall asleep at 28, 29 minutes of a college football game.
There's no way.
When my job, I work for a cable company, for those that don't know, when my job opened up like a little kiosk thing in the Staten Island Mall, nobody from my store ever wanted to go cover shifts there. So I volunteered one day, and I realized that there's barely ever any customers there. There's maybe 3 a day in an 8-hour span. The entire day consisted of watching TV on these 3 huge high-definition TVs that they have.
Aww.
And people would say, like, well, I hate it over there. How much TV can you watch? And my thing would be, you can't get paid for 8 hours to watch TV? What is wrong with you?
How could you watch it? There was 3 of them.
There was one
I didn't say I was comfortable.
There was one Memorial Day weekend. I think it was.
I'm just imagining you go to the mall and there's an HD TV that has a sheet over it whenever Keith is working. Just one.
He's black and one with his eye.
Why does that TV in the middle keep getting smashed? Well, because if it was the left or the right, it would mess up the symmetry.
But what sports would you want to be watching if you had to sit 29 hours?
Baseball.
Baseball, really?
Oh,
Yeah, he's crazy.
a regular
with baseball.
baseball game would last
Tennis.
about 29
I would watch
hours.
tennis.
Anyway.
He's crazy. Wait,
29
so Brian, you were about to say something. there.
Before season 2 of 24, some television station played the season 1 24 hour by hour back to back. So you had to sit and watch it for 24
During
hours.
the hours that it actually corresponded to.
Commercials?
Yeah, they had commercials.
Okay.
And
The
I
only
sat
thing
down
that
and
breaks up
I
life
sat
is
through that
commercials.
thing. I watched the whole thing, and by the end of it, I was ready for more. I wanted season 2 to begin. I could have easily done this.
What did Jack Bauer do during the commercial breaks, supposedly? Like, that's what I always wondered.
He ate whatever product was being sold.
Yeah, the main issue I have with this ESPN Zone thing is the piston breaks, like, because that's not that the competition is how much TV could you sit there and watch, not how long could you hold your piss while you're doing it. Because the fact that the guy won because the guy had to run to the bathroom, that right there cheapens the whole thing. It's back to the hold your piss contest, which is stupid.
Are we not in a world where you could have a recliner that you could pee and poo in? I mean, come on, this
coming.
technology.
It's
Let's
coming.
do it.
I'm baiting.
Fred wants a catheter.
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least
Exactly,
depends.
Vanessa. It depends. Yeah, it's something.
When they had those oxygen bars, I always thought the next idea was going to be catheter bars. Like, you just kind of roll up and plug in, and there you are sitting at the bar for the next, like...
What's the Mike Judge movie? What was it?
Idiocracy.
Yeah, he sits in a recliner while he's crapping.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, the bathroom aspect of it is lame. That's it's ironic because the whole that happened at the ESPN Zone, because the whole like upstairs of the ESPN Zone are like video games and stuff, and half of the video games are interactive where you have to be athletic video games. Like, you actually have to like shoot a puck against a goalie.
Wow.
You actually have to ride a horse, like, and on some of the rides. It's actually a pretty neat place. I've dug it.
Sweet.
This just turned into a commercial for the ESPN Zone. And try the potato skins; they're excellent.
So if they upped the bathroom breaks to like once every 4 hours instead of 8 hours, which I don't know if that's 8 hours may just be standard, because there's all kinds of competitions where you're supposed to, there's that like hands on a hard body one where you win the truck, and each one of the like all those things have a scheduled bathroom time in it. Maybe 8 hours is just what all of them do.
You know what I would go with?
It was,
I would go with 8 hours for crapping. If you're going to go in to take a crap, if you're just going to take a whiz, I think they should be unlimited. It shouldn't be that you're holding because you have a weak bladder that you lose the contest. If you run out to every, don't get me wrong. If it's excessive, maybe you make it like that. It can't be like 10 times an hour that you go to the bathroom. But like a piss an hour is fine.
So the real contest is a sleep contest. Is who's going to stay awake to watch the most sports. That's what the contest
Yeah,
is
I
really
guess
about now.
super easy. I have 2 words for success: crystal meth.
Ooh.
That applies to life in general, not only this.
Obviously, I'm succeeding right now. I'm going to succeed. Yeah, by the way, I love those recliners at that ESPN Zone, and I say that like I guess it's a chain, and there's millions of them every place now. It's just like Dave and Buster's or every other thing all around the country. It's really great just to sit there in this big recliner. The fact that you don't have to sit at a table, you sit at a recliner that has speakers next to your head where you choose which of like the 40 TVs in front of you want to hear the sound of.
Oof.
Oh, it's outrageous.
And
Love
it's
it.
all sports.
Yeah, it is. You would hate it.
But like cool sports, you could get like skeet shooting, and there's some weird stuff, right?
I've never seen anything totally off the rails like that. Totally weird. Like
What's that cool sport where they have on the ice and they have to sweep
Curling.
Curling, yeah,
Curling
that's a good sport.
that's some good stuff.
Despite popular opinion, the so-called alternative cool sports are harder to watch than the regular sports if you don't like sports.
Well, it depends. Like skateboarding, like
The
X
strongest
Games
man
and stuff.
competition, maybe that's
Oh,
different.
I
Like
love that
that's-
stuff. Watching dudes wearing kilts throwing big, like huge logs is unbelievable to me. I love that stuff.
I saw rock paper scissors competition on ESPN. It was pretty cool.
Where on It Radio? It Radio here on TPX Radio.
That's so I'm 27 and I work for an ad agency in Soho. And hey, man, did you see the rock paper scissors competition?
Check out It Radio on Thursdays.